Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Gaming Institute podcast. Today, we have a super incredible guest, the one, the only Myrtle. How you doing today?
I'm good, and thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. How
Well,
about you?
I'm doing wonderful. And yes, that is one of the big downfalls of podcasters is that sometimes we can't say people's names right. And then we look like total idiots on air. So glad that all worked
Exactly.
out. So I know you're incredibly busy, and I'm so glad that we get to have this chat. I know you have a big launch literally tomorrow, which would
Mhm.
be um, let's see, today is the 12th. So on the
Yep.
13th, it's going to be a huge launch. So yeah, I just want to jump right into it because I know you have a lot of things to do. So I would love to hear, what is your story?
Story way back when how I got into crypto gaming or
Exactly.
how I got into crypto.
Well, whichever one you'd like to tell.
Well, to be honest, I started out as a call center agent, not agent, technical, way back 10 years. Stayed in the call center industry, BPO here in the Philippines, with technical stuff, from Comcast. I can troubleshoot your internet, your cell phone, iOS, name it. So I've been in the technical field for 8 years, been promoted as a quality analyst, and then one time I actually am given like an opportunity to be a business director for a media crypto company, which is Asia Token Fund. And then after that, yeah, I've been a social media manager, all of the things when it comes to scratch, all of the levels when it comes to the skills. So now I'm actually a founder of a lot of companies, which is actually Block Tides, a PR firm here in the Philippines. We're actually registered in Singapore, so under Kinergetics. So yeah, so after that, for all of the years, 2016, we've run through a lot of road shows already without the COVID. So 30 road shows in Southeast Asia, promoting projects, featuring them, of course. So Hubi is also one of our, if you know Hubi, so
Yeah.
Hubi is also one of our clients, Odyssey, with my partner from Singapore, Ken Nizam. So yeah, pretty much we're an OG in this space. So yeah, it's actually a big leap of faith for me to handle a project because um my comfort zone is doing PR and marketing for projects. It's already almost 200 projects already. If you know Gala Games, I'm also helping them here in the Philippines for them to, of course, have exposure, have users at the same time.
That's
And then
amazing.
now I'm the founder of PlaceWar, which is actually a play to earn, battle to earn. Actually, we want to call it battle to earn game in the metaverse. To be honest, before Mark Zuckerberg post about the metaverse, we're already a metaverse.
Exactly. He's coming into our space.
Exactly. But of course, he's gonna be scrutinized by a lot of what do you call this when it comes to people hunting him in the government, right? I don't know, but it's his strategy. We're an open space, we're an open world. Why not, right? If he can build something. But yeah, I don't want to touch on that because there's a lot of concerns about it.
Agreed. So I'm so interested in really understanding how it seems like you just kind of leveled up, all pun intended. We're talking about crypto gaming, but it seems like you kept leveling up in your career to the point where, I mean, you started off working with businesses and providing value in a really specific way. And then you just
Mhm.
kind of kept climbing, climbing, climbing. And now you have your own ecosystem here that
Yep.
you've built. So what was first of all, I think it's really inspiring for people because so many people are like, I want to get into crypto, I want to get into crypto gaming if they're smart, and but but I don't know how. So how did you really work your way up and do it in a way to where you were able to both provide for yourself
Hmm.
and you're still able to work your way up, and you were able to do it fast enough to not miss out on being a pioneer in this ecosystem?
To be honest, there's a lot of rejections that I've faced, so it's not that easy because people the tendency is when they actually see the results, so that's wherein they can trust you, right? So when it comes to me, from the BPO industry that I got, jumping from companies to another because I got bored. I don't want to work in the 9 to 5 scene. And then, of course, into spirituality as well. So, it's not in the birth chart that I have. So I'm more into the entrepreneurial side of things. So of course, leap of faith, 9 to 5 job, the stability, of course. How can I provide for my family here in the Philippines is just like a risk, a big risk, right? So when it comes to investments as well, there's risk. So here, actually, this risk is pretty much a good thing, So because you are not in your comfort zone at the same time, and I'm helping like troubleshooting at the same time, multitasking, helping people solving their issues with their phones, with their computers. I can troubleshoot that. So it's just like it molded me to where I am right now in the blockchain space, which is actually helpful. I can do 10 things at the same time. So that's why a lot of clients of mine told me that I'm more productive than a whole team. So when it comes to that, I started out growing my LinkedIn connection, which I actually did. So yes, building my LinkedIn connections, connecting, rejection. So there's a lot when it comes to the struggles. It's inevitable when it comes to being an entrepreneur. So I just believed in myself and of course the capacity that I have. And of course I didn't give up. For the past years that I've done, I'm here in the space, ICOs, from ICOs, IDOs, IGOs already, right? So yeah, it's pretty much a good thing, a good ride, a good journey. Because I really didn't expected this. At the same time, I was hesitant actually to accept this role because it's a big responsibility. Because when you go outside there having a crypto, if either one mistake that you'll have here in the crypto space, you'll be like bashed. There's a lot of bashers, food that's gonna happen, right? Of course, not all companies are perfect, but it comes from the team itself. That's why I'm always personally responding to all of the YouTube reviews that the influencers are providing us, especially in the Telegram group. I always answer them with my own time. I do prioritize the community. So I'm letting them know that you cannot actually do this in the community because without restrictions, without proper rules in the community, it will all go down. So by implementing that as a leader, of course, in a company, you need to do that for providing rules, no food, no scammers, because of course education is the key when it comes to projects. How can my aunt know how I work with my clients also with block tides? I'm always asking myself, how can I make this company successful? It's just like my own company. So here also in PlaceWar, since I already have PlaceWar, that's what I'm also thinking. Also with the clients and projects that I have, it's not about the money, it's all about giving value.
That's
Not
awesome.
all, yeah, because money goes, again, I'm into spirituality. So when it comes to the ROI, when it comes to money, money comes last because when you don't need something, you'll have everything.
I like that. I like that. That's a very tweetable quote, by the way. Uh, Whoever's listening to this, if you tweet that and tag me on Twitter, I will absolutely retweet you on that because that's a really really good
Yeah,
line.
because there's a lot of people just jumping into a project because of the ROI. They're not really supporting the ecosystem, which is really the reality when it comes to the projects in the crypto space and the NFT game. So they're just into the ROI because this token pumped. There's a lot of hype with this token when it comes to the prices. But yeah, so when it comes to education, of course, there's still a lot of people, especially here in the Philippines, doesn't know what blockchain is. There's a lot of skepticism around Bitcoin, blockchain. So that's why I actually created a group, which is educating about blockchain and crypto, and also the women empowerment and youth. I already spoke to a lot of prominent universities here in the Philippines, to be honest, with thousands of students educating about blockchain. So if you can, I will share it to you after this. So you can definitely check that on my LinkedIn profile that I'm actually being a speaker in some universities, University of Makati, University of the Philippines. So yeah, I want to educate the youth what actually blockchain have, because NFTs are there, but if they don't understand where it came from, which is from blockchain technology, they will be lost. So it's our responsibility as a KOL influencer, as here also in the podcast that you're having and the interviews, for us to educate them what this technology is about. So we will not stop here. Of course, we're still going to innovate, at the same time empower them to use this technology. It's already disruptive.
I love this. There are a few things I really want to dig into. I want to understand a little bit more about kind of the stepping stones that you had along your journey to go from, again, working with a project to eventually starting your own and really building
Mhm.
out your own thing. I also want to touch on this idea of a value driven community and how you actually build the community. But let's talk about the stepping stones first, because I think that'll set us up to move forward with the narrative there. So when it comes to the stepping stones, and I'm talking about the different positions that you had, the different skill sets that you were learning, how much did you plan that out? Like, were you saying, okay, in 3 months, I'm going to learn this skill. In 6 months, I'm going to learn this skill. In 8 months, I'm going to learn this skill? Or was it just kind of like you were where you were and you did your best and that opened up the next door, rinse and repeat until eventually you are where you are now? Like, how did you think through that?
To be honest, when it comes to the skills, it's just automatic. So hang on, my dog is barking.
Well, if your dog has some really good insight to share, please, this is a very dog friendly podcast.
Actually, he's a Doberman. He's a Doberman at the same time.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's really loud, so don't worry. So yeah, he's already silent. So when it comes, yeah, to the stepping stones, I really did my own research. So choosing the right sources is not easy, to be honest. Also, with the right mentors, it's just like, yes, every day I'm always attracting. I do believe in law of attraction, that every day I want to attract this kind of people in my life. So yes, it's happening actually. It's just like a magic ride here in this space, to be honest, that it's sending me the right people to help me to know more about the venture capitals, to know more about the projects, to know more about the best strategies when it comes to marketing the projects out there. Because PlaceWar is not just the company that I'm with, also with Block Ties, right? So aside from PlaceWar, of course, we're promoting different kinds of NFTs as well. So of course, yeah. So the strategies all came out naturally, finding the right sources at the same time. I'm also taking classes when it comes to Coursera, Udemy, if you actually know that. So yeah, all you have to do is actually observe, get to know the communities, go to the Facebook groups, what are the trending, what are the things that you need to follow. I don't use Twitter, to be honest. I just started Twitter this year because I needed prompt for my project. I studied it, how to tweet, how to do the proper hashtags. I really searched how to do it because there's a lot of platforms like Sprout Social, which you can definitely learn how to do the SEO stuff when it comes to articles. So yeah, it all boils down to actually studying everything from scratch. If you really want to learn something, you'll definitely get there. So yeah, when it comes to the metaverse, of course, from blockchain, metaverse, ICO, IGOs, IDOs, yeah, the strategies is pretty much it depends on the people's taste, and of course the founder's mindset. I always consider that because in the Draper University, I'm also a scholar graduate of blockchain and what do you call this? And crypto for entrepreneurship powered by Tezos. So I learned the power of community. At the same time, during our live series, we're always giving away prizes for the community because during pandemic, no one is there to help them. There's a lot of people being unemployed, and yeah, so Block Tides is here for us to provide the opportunity that this technology exists, for us to actually make an analogy how for them to understand it in a simpler way, you know? So, like, for example, how can you make it understand with a 5-year-old kid? How can you explain it, right? So, all of the traditional institutions and people, I call it people, so they don't know more about this technology. So it's very important for us to actually do that because I really want to provide that information to them.
So is it, and I want to get a little bit more specific, like with the courses that you're taking, like were you saying to yourself, okay, today I'm going to learn web design, or today I'm going to learn graphic design, and I'm going to take a course on how to build a logo, and then I'm going to put that in practice? And like, what were those specific skills that you needed to either learn about or work on or practice or master to actually get to the point where you were able to really be effective in community building and see results in the
Designs,
crypto
right?
space?
Yeah. To be honest, I started with the rejections that I've told you since I actually designed one pitch deck for an event. And then someone just gave me like a criticism about my work. So I use that as a tool, of course, not to be in a negative way, but for me to, of course, improve my work. And at the same time, yes, it actually helped because, again, it's all in the mind and it's how you think about yourself, how to master something. And then now I can actually design a piece for 2 minutes only. And when it comes to the community management, so of course, not all people will like you. Not all people will help you or join your community because yeah, that's just how I believe in when it comes to community building. And of course, what we have and implemented in the community that we have for block tides and now implementing in PlaceWar, of course, is the positive energies because the world already have a lot of criticisms or people criticizing each other. So it's our responsibility to be the light for everyone. So that's what I believe in. I'm a different founder than anyone else, not just in technical stuff, but I also provide value for them to change their mindset at the same time. It's just like duplicating myself because not all will be duplicated like me. But of course, it's the will and of course the motivation that you have that you can definitely help someone.
So would you say that, like, which one is the more valuable skill, the design or the community management?
Both. Because you need to balance it, everything is important when it comes to building a company. So for 6 years I noticed that, oh, okay, this one is not working, so let's do another one. I'll always have three options for you to be able to make it.
Oh, wait, we can't hear you. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, so someone told me about this strategy for you to be able to use three options. So if the option A will not work, try the option B. And if option B will not work, of course, try C until you can actually make the perfect formula and achieving your goal. So every day I always write my goal in my planner. I'm an old school. I don't use cell phones and taking notes. So I have my planner. If you love coffee, we do have Starbucks planner. Everything is always full when it comes to the schedules. I want to post this video. I want to learn social media master class. I want to learn about public relations. So every week, if ever that my intuition and my higher self, of course, will suggest something for me to learn, I always listen to myself. So just like I'll pause for a while and then I'll listen, what do I need to learn? So I'm always doing that. So of course, I'm gonna execute that, because procrastination is not the key to success. Because there's a lot of people procrastinating, that they're just actually sitting, and then of course expecting a good life, right? Because the meaning of law of attraction is you attract at the same time with action, of course.
I love that. So it seems like the strategy is go out and be a part of different communities that are already doing really well and observe. And then you'll get kind of an inkling or an intuition of what you want to take from that and what you want to learn from that, and then run with it and plan it out, fill your schedule, put learning on the schedule, and then just keep doing that over and over again until you're mastering your skills and you're moving forward with your goals there.
Yes, that's right. And it's not just about learning skills. You need to have a balance in maintaining to take care of yourself at the same time, because you cannot function, again, me, mind, body, and soul. So I do work like that. And then feed yourself with positive stuff when it comes to the codes. Every day I use Pinterest just for me to be motivated, because there's a lot of people actually going to be happy when you share that inspiration as well. So I always do that to the community, because at the same time, again, it's not just about the money, it's not just about the technology, but a balance of everything.
I love it. I love it. So, when did you first get inspired to move from you're working with a project to you're starting your own? Like, how did that, where was the inspiration and how did you actually do it?
So to be honest, it's a leap of faith again. So we just started last September. So I actually asked again myself, am I ready for this? So of course, after 6 years, I need something new. I already proven to myself that I can do something in the PR field. So yeah. So second time is I need something new. So I tried it. Of course, if you want to actually try something, start it, because ideas are there for a purpose for you to execute it.
I love that. I love that. So you just kind of, so it seems like it was just you were ready for something new and you were like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to try it.
Yes, exactly. So I didn't expected everything. We're pretty much oversubscribed as well now. It's really overwhelming with Gate startup. So we're listed as a startup in Gate IO, like the exchange. So it's oversubscribed now by 80,000%. So it's unexpected. At the same time, it's overwhelming. I know that I have value. I do know that all of the things that I'm doing is valuable. And I know, because doing a business, again, it's you providing value to the clients. When I'm with Block Tides, of course, the results, because a lot of people can promise you something for the services that they can provide but cannot really execute it. So I'm telling them, okay, let's just try this. Sometimes I'm offering it for free, way back that I'm still starting. So I'm offering them free sponsorship, free, everything free when it comes to the services that I have. And then that way I prove to myself that I can deliver. That's an additional to your question earlier.
So y'all are subscribed oversubscribed by 80,000%. That's amazing. Um, how did you how did you go from, and I'm really interested in like the specifics. So you may not be able to talk about them, but if you can, let's do it. Like you have this idea that you want to start your own thing, you jump into it. I mean, you have to be like, you have to find developers, you need design, you may be doing some of that, you need community management, you maybe are doing some of that. Like, how did you build your team and then go from team to now 80,000 percent oversubscribed, actually launching a full-fledged project? Like, what was that path?
So yeah, I told you that way back 3 months ago, I really wanted to try something new. I actually told my mom. By the way, my family knows cryptocurrency and blockchain, and all of my cousins also do crypto and hold tokens. Not a financial advice, but I already taught them everything when it comes to blockchain and crypto. And yep, so of course, I told myself I need something new. And then one time this connection of mine approached me. Hey, I have a project. I want you to be the founder for this. So I accepted it. I looked at the project at the same time. So he's based in Australia. He's also a partner of a venture capital firm. And then, yeah, I told him, yeah, this is a great idea. So we collaborated with the strategies when it comes to the KOLs, the investors that we're going to have at the same time. So what we did is collected everyone from different continents. So if you can see, IoTex is our partner. We have the Chinese community. We have the Asian community, Vietnam. So we're still expanding at the same time it's growing. We also have Spain community. We have the Russian community. I told him we need to actually have strong supporters for each continent, because a lot of people just choose like without strategy, only choosing for this just to raise big allocations for everyone. So it all depends on the allocation, the strategy of the tokenomics. So it all boils down for an undervalued project to check the team, the backers at the same time, right? The backers, the market fit. So I actually posted something in PlaceWar about that. So the community will be informed. So they're safe actually when it comes to investments. We're not a financial advisor, but of course we can provide education, right? So there, when it comes to the strategy, of course, getting crypto.com, the following of crypto.com as our seed investors. So we already have the branding. They already have the right partnerships when it comes to Formula One, UFC, recently it's Twitch. When it comes to crypto gaming, it's gonna be booming. I mean, it's gonna be really like hype. Of course, crypto.com, what I love about Bobby, the founder, when it comes to crypto.com capital, he believed in my vision, our company, as well as while it took a lot of meetings when securing this deal. It's just like nerve wracking. I didn't expect it that they will invest, to be honest, because when it comes to reputation, you need to actually think the right big people to be partnered with. Of course, I don't want to let them down by them investing to us, right?
That's amazing. So you have this partnership with a venture capitalist and y'all create this together, and then you're going out and it seems like you're literally going country by country and you're building partnerships with different investors, and that would of course almost unlock access to their communities so they learn about you, and then you're just kind of going from place to place and you're getting investment dollars, you're building community, and you're building a reputation, and then you just execute after that, right?
Yes, for sure. Because, when doing the private sales last month, I'm actually telling them that it's just not about the money. So, of course, it's the value proposition that each partnership will have. Because there's a lot of projects out there just seeking for funding without really understanding um, what's it for, right? So, of course, funding is important. Of course, when it comes to establishing for marketing, for a lot of different stuff when it comes to costing, but the value there, the long-term partnership. So what I've learned also in the program with Draper, that actually investments are like marriage. So you have to build the right communication and partnership at the same time by treating them as your friend, or yeah, your closest friend, because it will not last. We didn't accepted people with just demanding a high allocation at the same time, but cannot really. It's just like they're disappointed because it's not a big allocation. It's just like, are you just in it for the money? So because we're here to stay, we're here for the long term, for the long term vision for PlaceWar. So that's what I told them.
I love that. So let's talk about the actual project itself. What was the kind of the driving thesis, the driving narrative behind the game, and like what's it all about?
To be honest, the real reason why we started this without the booming of the NFT games We started this last March. So last March, we're already building this. So we actually thought, but since last year, I'm also into gaming already, supporting Gala games. I know that tokenization and gamification will really boom. It's just like a gut feeling that it will really be the next thing after the meme coins. So yeah, I started out supporting Gala games at the same time owning their NFTs. I own NFTs without the hype, you know. So that NFT is now worth $10,000. So I'm still keeping it. So it's just like supporting myself. I mean, believing in myself, believing in the gut, the trends, the research. It all boils down to the gameplay here. The inspiration is the Western culture thing, Reddit, our place. If you're familiar with Reddit sensations, our place, that's the inspiration at the same time. Gunbound Fortress. So if you're familiar with V2, Fortress V2, like worms. So it's like attacking each other. It's just one part of our ecosystem. It's the PvP battlefront. It's not just about that. We also have the Placedonia, which we call it. So you can definitely go ahead, collaborate with your friends, invade each other to create the map. Because you know CryptoPunks, right? It was sold for $1 million. So it all started there from the pixel idea at the same time for that pixel idea to be actually in the collaboration part in Placedonia that we have. So every season you'll have the chance to have the creator rewards. So it's not just for gamers that we're actually supporting. We're also supporting the artists as well. So for example, we saw this NFT. It will be broken into pieces. We sold it for $10,000. You'll have the chance to win that pot of money because we do have the Place DAO treasury, which is actually also part of the governance ecosystem that we have. The community has the right to vote. So it's also the guild wars that we have. It's a 10 versus 10 for the tanks, the NFT tanks that we have already. And of course, you can definitely go ahead and fight with each other. So may the best team wins at the same time. So there's this player. If you're not gonna play in the 10 versus 10, you can definitely go ahead and just bet on the team that you want to win. If that team will win, of course, you'll get the money. So it's just like a voting mechanism, quadratic voting mechanism that we have here. And it's just like four parts that we have. The battle to earn, PvP, 3 versus 3. The other one is Placedonia. The other one is actually the Guild Wars, and the other one is the Pixel system. So it's all gonna be a really fun ride here. That's why there's a lot of people interested because it's not a typical card game that you can see launching out there. I don't want to compare, but of course, it's all about being unique. We will also have an open world, which you can definitely go ahead and interact with each player that you want. For example, I'm from the Philippines. So the other players from Spain or Germany or Russia can definitely go ahead and collaborate and chat with them inside. It's an open world for Playstonia.
That is really, really cool. It seems like there are a lot of different facets of the game that kind of touch on a lot of different game mechanics. So it seems like that it could get a little complex there. Like, how big is your team, and where's the developer power coming from? Like, how many devs are on the team, and how'd you build out that team?
10. So from Philippines, of course, and then Taiwan. So they cannot speak English. So that's why I'm the one who's relaying everything. So the advisor that we have knows how to speak English and Chinese. So he's the middleman in actually relaying everything. So I just got an update that the development is advanced already. So the PvP is going to be out. So it's really exciting because before in our roadmap, it's going to be launching next year, but it will be released before Christmas.
That's awesome. So you
Yeah,
actually have a
I don't
functional.
know, but they got motivated, I guess, with the private sales that we've done. But I'm really excited.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I want to start wrapping it up here. I know you're very busy. You have your big launch tomorrow, and I'm very appreciative of your time. Just a couple more questions for you. So we talked about how you really got here, explored the ecosystem that you're building, the project that you're really working on right now. But to kind of take a step back and talk about the crypto gaming industry as a whole and the metaverse, what do you see as the future? Like, where are we going, and what is it going to look like?
Well, it's already outrated when it comes to the future that we're always talking about. But I do believe that everything will be connected at the same time, especially this pandemic happened. So there's a lot of people craving for connection, It's all actually virtual. So it's gonna happen at the same time. I don't know what will happen after pandemic or if this will end at the same time. We never know. So while it's still here, it's happening. It's for us to build, innovate at the same time, expand, create, build at the same time. So the future is actually, for me, is in the virtual world, not just in the crypto. So it just imagine, blockchain technology will be connected to the AI and provide education. So that's what I'm also thinking about in the future. So of course, there's a thin line when it comes to AI because not everything can be in the AI. We're still human, so of course, there's a lot of people gonna be unemployed when it comes to integrating everything. So it needs to have a balance. Not everything can be like in a virtual world or can be digitized. We can still keep actually the balance when it comes to bridging technology and the reality, because that's what metaverse is all about, by bridging everything, right? Because PlaceWar can definitely be connected to another game since we're a metaverse, right? There's actually this someone tweeting, thanks for something. It's a similar tank theme. So they want to actually connect with PlaceWar. I haven't uh checked but yeah, I'm still gonna look at that. So of course we're open for partnerships. Of course we can definitely collaborate with a lot of brands. Just imagine you having your tank with the design that you have, like Crypto Gaming Institute. Like for example, crypto.com will have their own NFT stacks here. So it's bridging all of the companies, right? So we can definitely do that here in PlaceWar by connecting all people, collaborate, have fun. And at the same time, my partner is always telling me that we created this not for the purpose for the people to have a job while playing. I don't know what's his purpose about that, but a game should not be like a job. It's supposed to be fun. So yeah, that's our take on that actually.
I love that. I love that. So, last question for you. And again, I'm very appreciative of your time. But what question should I be asking you that I just wouldn't think to ask?
Hold on, can you repeat that?
Yeah. What question should I be asking you that I just wouldn't think to ask?
Well, that's a hard question now. Well, I do expected for you to ask me about the gameplay. Yeah, and the other things like what's your roadmap, your plans, but you've asked a different thing. It's actually a different thing or experience that I have here with your podcast. It's really an eye opener as well, that there's a lot of podcasts out there that's not just talking about simple questions.
Well, thank you. That yeah, the whole purpose really is like to dive into and or really more to showcase the people behind the technology, behind the projects, because at the end of the day, it's still people that I mean, we're still people and we're all doing all these things. Yeah, we may have come into the virtual world, we may have entered the metaverse, but we're still people at the end of the day. So that's the whole thing I think is so cool is like we're still people. There's still humanity
Yeah,
there.
the people is actually, or the humans are actually the ones who's connecting inside the metaverse. So pretty much we cannot do digitation for everything. That's the one I mentioned earlier. So it needs to have a balance also. I'm also doing this, by the way, and interviewing a lot of founders, CEOs, and block types. So yeah, you can definitely check it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I would highly encourage everyone to go research and find all the things you're doing and everything that we talked about. Go dig into it, have a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot. So, get a nice cup of coffee and sit down and get ready to dive into this whole world. So, yeah, thank you so much, Myrtle. I really appreciate your time, and I wish you the best of luck with your launch tomorrow.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. And it's really an honor for me to present at the same time. I don't want it to be a techie stuff. Also, I want to inspire a lot of people that if I can definitely do it, they can also.
Amazing. Well, I love that sentiment.
I have a lot of sentiments here that I will actually.
I love that. So again, thank you so much, Myrtle, and to everybody who's watching, listening. Thank you. Y'all are the best. Game on. See y'all in the next episode.